What's up, everybody? It's Lights Out 7 here, bringing you some Week 10 fantasy takeaways. So we'll look back at the games. So we got Baltimore at Miami, and one takeaway here is basically Rashad Bateman's for real. I think he's going to be the number one there very shortly. Marquise Brown dropped a lot of catches. I think you can still play Brown, but it's very consolidated now between Bateman, Brown, and Andrews. So we're in games where Baltimore do not run, or from behind like you just saw, you could play all three. Detroit at Pittsburgh. Swift got 36 touches in this game. That's lovely. I want to just stop that about Ray McLeod in this one. I think Claypool comes back, or even if he doesn't come back, I think that was a bit of a fluke 12 target game. I'd like to see it with Ben Roethlisberger first. Tampa Bay at Washington. Basically, my takeaway from this one is Tampa Bay can be run at now. I think they're really good at stopping the pass. So I think it's switched a little bit. We did talk about that recently. And I think we're seeing that now. Gibson didn't get that many yards, but he obviously scored the touchdowns, but they control the clock by moving the ball on the ground. I think teams might struggle against Tampa Bay throwing the ball, which is a bit different to what we saw going forward. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Atlanta, Dallas, you can't start Russell Gage anymore, so I don't want to hear that anymore from anyone. It's going to be Pitts and C, Pat, and that's it from the Falcons. Not even Matt Ryan after that. In a shootout against Dallas, to throw out that number, I'm not interested going forward. New Orleans at Tennessee. I think you can play both Foreman and Peterson. Keep an eye on Jeremy Nichols. He had a concussion after the game. Houston is up next. I think they can both get 15 touches each. They got 10 touches each in this game, and that was against New Orleans. They want to run the ball, Tennessee. So against Houston, they will be able to. Buffalo at New York Jets, a team who doesn't want to run the ball. The Jets, they throw the ball a lot. No matter, they're always behind, so that helps. But it doesn't matter about the quarterback now. This is, Flacco's going to come in. He's going to throw the ball. So you have 44 attempts by Mike White last week. Wouldn't be surprised if that number's the same this week. You look at Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, James and Crowder with Flacco, and Keenan Cole. Pick which Jets receiver you want to play. Cleveland at New England. The Pats run so much. You can start both. Another example of if Stevenson and Harris are both healthy, start both running backs. They just run the ball so much. I like them this week against Atlanta as well. Jacksonville at Indy. Jamal Agnew, 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 in the catch department. So I don't really want to bank on a 68-yard run or whatever he had every week. So I don't feel comfortable ever putting Agnew on my team. Minnesota at LA Chargers. So Keenan Allen obviously gets back to that number one receiver in that role. I think it was we did say a couple of weeks before about Mike Williams' injury before anyone else did, which is cool. But Herbert is the buy low now. Throwing up 13 fantasy points, I think you can have him off someone who's worrying, and he's going to perform down the stretch. Carolina at Arizona. Start Christian Kirk every week, regardless of Hopkins, regardless of AJ Green and Kyler Murray. He's in your lineup going forward. I really like Kirk going forward. Eno Benjamin not as used as much as I thought he was going to be. Connor was on the field more than 75% for the second week in a row. I know the first week, obviously, Chase left halfway through, so I was expecting Eno to get back a little bit into Connor's workload, but that didn't happen. So that's a good observation from that one. Philadelphia at Denver. So I think we can get rid of Cortland Sutton. I think we can get rid of Tim Patrick just because they are, that was a game they had to come back from. Philadelphia are quite good against the wide receivers, if I'm not mistaken, but that doesn't matter. I think they both can get dropped. Judy's has messed that up. The kind of target distribution as we thought he might. Sutton's on the chopping block. Seattle at Green Bay, strange game. I'm very worried about Russ. And I'm not worried about Lockett or Metcalf because I think they'll get theirs eventually when Russ calms down a bit. But the run game for Seattle really worries me because Collins actually got 4 or 5 yards of carry. They got into the red zone quite a few times. They were down 3-0 and they didn't run it with him, even though they were having success. So something's going on with the play callers there. I saw Travis Homer coming out for half the snaps, obviously better in pass protection, better pass catcher, etc. But they could have won that game if they run it with Alex Collins. They didn't. They put it in Russ's hands and they were behind the chains every time, especially down in the red zone. So I'm worried about everyone in that offense. Kansas City at Vegas. So the buy low window that we discussed for the Chiefs is slammed shut. And I suspect they'll just push forward with Hill, Kelsey, and Mahomes going forward. LA Rams at the San Francisco 49ers was a good game. Sell George Kittle. I'm going to say that now. San Francisco want to win the games by running the ball, and they got an easy stretch. They're not going to need to throw as much as they did the other day. I mean, Kittle got lucky, really. He scored on the first possession. Otherwise, he would have ended up with 4 points. So, when they start playing the likes of Jacksonville this weekend, I think they got a nice, easy running. They are going to run the ball. So, Debo's going to get his. I'm not sure if Kittle will. Or maybe the other way around. Anyway, nice speaking to you. See you again. Bye.